Hello, and welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. Well, Las Vegas has grown so fast, the population is like over 3.5 million, and we have a lot of kids out here. The school district is one of the largest in the whole country. I think it's one of the top 3 in the country. And so I have a special guest today who's going to be talking about the schools and education and mindset. But on top of that, I just want to say that I'm so happy to be on the show every week. I'm able to express myself, my feelings about things, and by bringing people on the show from all walks of life. And today I went to see a chiropractor to get my left shoulder. He said, Joe, you using that left shoulder too much. That's why it's hurting. So anyway, he says he wants to be on the show in the next couple of weeks. So Dr. Penn, I'll be bringing him on in a couple of weeks. But, I really want to share so much information that we have for you. And my dear friend today, Kristin Rich. How you doing? Welcome to the show, Kristin.
Hi.
Okay, good to be here today.
Yes, I'm very excited.
You're
to be
all
with you
excited, eh?
today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we talked before about some of the things that are going on here in Las Vegas. And first of all, your husband. As a matter of fact, I went to your wedding when you got married.
Yes, you
with
did.
Rich about
Yes.
8 years ago.
Yep. 8 years ago.
8 years ago, I remember that nice wedding on the golf course, a beautiful place.
Thank you.
It was a beautiful place. And you haven't changed, but you look like you got younger.
Well, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's
I love it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But Mark Rich owns Salute Restaurant, Mexican restaurant.
Yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit about that? And your daughter?
Absolutely. Yeah. Summer and Mark, my husband, own Salute Mexican Bistro, and they are whole heart into it. They love it. It's a great place, Quiliera. We've got tons of great food and fun, and we have entertainment on Mondays and Wednesdays, and the people like it. We keep doing it.
Exactly. It's a good place. Well, I was there last night, stopped in, because Beth and Sites told Joe, you got to come by. It's 1 year anniversary. We've been performing there.
Right.
So I stopped by last night. It was very nice. And it's always a good time to be at Salute Restaurant here in Las Vegas. They're on the Sahara, on the west side of Sahara. What's the number there?
Oh, honestly, I don't know the address. That's sad, isn't it?
It's Salute Restaurant, Salute Bistro, Mexican food. It's on Sahara. Here in Las Vegas.
Sahara and Cimarron. That much I do know.
Okay, very good.
See, I don't work the restaurant. That's the deal.
Right,
so
right.
I'm a school counselor. He does the restaurant.
Right. So talk about school counseling. Tell me a little bit about, you've been a school counselor for the Clark County School District for what, 30 years now?
I was a teacher first, an English teacher for about 7-8 years, and then I got my counseling.
Yeah. How about Spanish? You learn a little bit of Spanish?
Un poquito.
Only English, yeah? Un poquito Spanish?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But so I work at Clark High School right now, and I've been in the middle schools, I've been in high schools, and I just am right here in the middle of the city. And we've got some really great kids. We're working with kids who are doing the best they can, getting out there. We got kids who are high flyers, and they're going to Cambridge and Columbia, and they're going all these places. And we've got kids who are looking for that next step. That's not school. So that's what we're doing. That's my focus in school right now.
So you got students that are, some want to just graduate from high school and they have no plans going to college.
Right.
And why is that?
I think a lot of it is because of our city. A lot of it is because of the way we can work, the 24 hours, the variety of jobs that hotels have to offer. And so a lot of the kids whose parents maybe work in hotels or own restaurants and things like that, a lot of the cultures wants to keep their kids home or in an area so they can even watch family, be close, that kind of stuff. So there's just a lot of kids who aren't going to go far away, but there's going to be a lot of kids who go to CSN, College of Southern Nevada, or Nevada State College, which is here in Henderson, way far away. But I think a lot of kids don't think they can go to college.
And that's where you come in and you try to convince them and explain to them. It's all about confidence and being self-esteem. Confidence level means a lot, right?
It does. And a lot of our kids aren't academically where they'd like to be, and so their college entrance is a little bit more sketchy for them, but they can still go to college. A lot of our kids will go to CSN first for a couple of years, and they'll get that, and their whole life starts over again when you get to college. So take that information and bring it to the next step, whether it be UNLV or some other place that takes the transfer credits, and they can just be on their way with a 4-year degree.
Now, how many students do you have registered here in Clark County?
How many schools?
How many students are registered?
I don't know. My school has about 3,100 kids.
3,100.
So times that by gabillion high schools and middle schools and elementaries.
I'm sure you have a good close to probably over 250,000
Yeah,
students.
I was just going to say about that. Yeah.
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 That's
so there's a
amazing.
lot of kids to serve.
Yeah. So tell me about your mindset program. Now, you're a certified mindset individual.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me a little bit about how do you
Sure.
get into that?
Well, I'm a life coach, and my focus is the kids, 16 through 20, trying to get them to the next spot in life, whatever that is for them. And I've been doing this for a couple of years. I was certified quite a while ago, but I really haven't kicked it up until this last couple of years. I'm going to retire in the end of this year. So I wanted to kind of start with that next part of my life.
So you're going to retire from school?
Yes, from the school district, yes.
But you still got another half of your life to go yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping we get out there. I really want to help change some lives.
Yeah, well, I know your husband likes to play golf out there. He's talking
does.
about traveling and all that. Because you guys are planning on some trips in the near future?
Yes, we are planning a safari. We're planning Ireland and 3-week cruises to Europe, the Rhine River, and I want to see castles. So we're just going to do a lot of stuff.
That'll be a lot of fun. Now, you're originally from the Windy City, Chicago.
I am from Chicago, yes.
Yeah,
I moved here when I was 78. So
a couple of years ago.
Yep. Been here a little while and seen it grow. You know, Vegas is so big now, like you said, 3.5 million people in here, and I think it was hundreds of thousands when we came. So
Right.
it's just changed dramatically, and I think that also has been the reason why our kids are changing and what their focus is sometimes.
Right. I remember when I got here in '92, one of my first friends was your husband, Mark. I met him when he had Mark's New York pizza place.
Right.
And he also had a club with the doo-wops, a cappella. And he also loves to do the Latin stuff too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you have the Latin entertainment at the restaurant at the Salute on Saturday
right.
nights?
Yes. We had the Latin night from 10 to 2.
From 10 to 2
p.m. to 2 a.m.
10 to 2, okay.
Yeah.
And he's been doing that for a number of years. But now, I remember when I met him, he said, Joe, you got to come see his show. He had Johnny Maestro on the Brooklyn
Right,
Bridge. They came
right.
in, and I went to see these guys downtown. I was so impressed. That's one of my favorite groups. Because I grew up with Johnny Maestro back in New York, the a cappella days, back in the 60s. And I know when they left, Mark called me and said, Joe, you know, one of the highlights of Johnny Maestro, he said when he left, one of the highlights was meeting Joe Cortez.
Oh, that's
You know,
great.
I was so pleased with that because, I mean, I'm a big fan of his.
Right.
He happened to be a fan of mine after I became a referee.
Right. That's
You know?
It's so nice when they have that reciprocal
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
you know, going on. And there's so many people want to know you, Joe, because you're so great. You got so much going on. You just been so many places, done so many things. I mean,
I'm a regular guy. I'm always trying to help people out there, help you guys, get you guys on the right track. I'm always trying to do something positive. I don't like to just sit around, mope around, do nothing all day long. You know, I said people say you retired as a referee. Yes, I did. But you know what? I'm not finished yet. The last chapter of my life is going to be better than all the other chapters of my life. The last one's going to be the best. How about that?
yeah, that's great. That's why I like you, Joe. You're all about everybody. You're about the people. You want things to be better. You want to see the community grow. You want to see, you know, the Latin community grow and be more part of everything. And I think that's one of my biggest focuses in we talked about is getting a lot of the culture kids, the Hispanics, the Asians. Then there's just so many different cultures. In my school alone, I think we have over 15 different languages that
Really?
my kids speak. We have Farsi, we have, you know, people from Cuba and Venezuela, and we have Turkey,
Puerto Rico, Mexico.
Puerto Rico, right? And we just got our first Ukrainian gal.
Really?
So yeah, so we have a lot of refugees. We have about 32 refugees at our school,
do, yeah.
and so they need all the help they can get.
Is that hurting at all with the school district? Some of the teachers are not able to explain to them, educate them, because they don't know the language.
Right.
The teachers, some of them, they're lucky if you know 2 languages.
Right.
You know, but so you got to keep people from different countries, students coming from different countries.
Mm-hmm.
They come here now, and the other kids, they probably feel sorry for them. 'Cause, you know, you're trying to help them, but if you don't understand, don't have the
Right.
language. So how do you guys manage to get through that?
Well, we have it's called English Language Learner, and we have a great program at our school. And so we help these kids integrate with their language. And we have classrooms set up where there's 2 teachers, and there's one that's an ELL teacher that kind of helps the kids along with the curriculum and such. And so not all of them speak Spanish. Our
Right,
kids are from
right.
everywhere.
Right.
So it's very interesting, it's important that we have that support for the kids. Now, Do they learn English the first couple of weeks they're there? Absolutely not. It's always easier to hear it, understand it, than it is to write it and to read it.
So what advice would you give these young individuals, to learn to start speaking English? You've been an English teacher. How do you get them to even understand what you're trying to tell them?
Well, I like to say, watch English TV, listen to English songs, read English magazines, and when you do the songs and the TV, they have captions, so you can do your captions in Spanish, or watch your Spanish show and do your captions in English. So you just kind of get the mix of both. You can kind of start putting things together.
But you get the people from the Ukraine, they don't understand Spanish, they don't understand English.
No, that's true. I have to admit, yeah, you're right. So that, though, we still say, read a book. Read a comic book, read a magazine, something they have interest in, something they can have pictures with and try to kind of figure that out. There's Rosetta Stone. There's a lot of different programs out there.
How about a buddy system?
Well, if we had two people speaking Turkish, I would do that. But I do a lot of Chinese kids who are Asian students who we do kind of pair together, not necessarily in the classroom so much, but a buddy system outside of the classroom where they can kind of hook up and have lunch together maybe and just kind of acclimate to the school and the system.
Yeah, I guess it's automatic thing. Just later on, just by being around these people all the time, you end up picking up the language.
If you want to, certainly, yeah. There's a lot of kids who haven't really acculturated themselves yet.
One day I was talking to a Cuban individual, and he was talking English really good. I said, "So you were born here, right?" He said, "No." I said, "How long you been here?" He said, 5 years. "How the hell you speak English so well?" He said, "Joe, I watch cartoons, I watch English TV. I stay away from everything Spanish. I just watch everything in English, but mainly cartoons." He said,
Right.
"I picked up a lot from cartoons."
Because you have the picture that goes with the words.
Yeah. So that's a good idea.
And the point of, like you said, when we go to another country, if I go to France, I don't know French, so I have to immerse myself in the French. And I have to...
Parlez-vous français?
Oh.
Oui, yeah?
Yeah, that's about what I know.
Chérie.
But whether it be Turkey or, Japan or wherever, I don't know, so I have to immerse myself in it.
They have that little translator. You could have it, you could put in your pocket and you could talk.
Yes.
That's pretty good. I like
Yeah,
that
I
little
love it.
gadget.
I use Google Translate all the time in my office.
Yeah.
Kids come in, they can't communicate with me, so I have them sit behind my computer and type what they need, and it translates to English, and we go from there.
But how about that little gadget that they have?
They do have those gadgets, but a lot of my kids don't have those, when they come to school.
You press it, you talk into it, and it translates.
Yeah.
They say if you're going to travel abroad, if you go to Japan or Germany,
that's the best thing to get, for sure.
Take one of these with you. It'll help you a little bit.
Yeah. Instead of taking a little dictionary, looking through all the words, it takes some time.
So let me ask you a question. So what brought you to Las Vegas?
Well, my dad always wanted to be a cowboy.
Cowboy
is what happened. Yeah,
a guy from the chick from Wooded City want to be a cowboy.
Yep, growing up in Chicago and just was wanting to be a cowboy his whole life. He just really wanted to get out west. And
so you were thinking to come here, hang out with Roy Rogers and Gene Autry and them guys, and hop along Cassidy.
Yeah, he wanted a shoe horse. So we moved out here in '78 mostly for that reason. And Mom was. The dad said, "Come along, let's see how this works out." And Dad was at the Mint. He was the security guard at the Mint.
Right.
And my mom ran the church at the cathedral on the Island Strip for about 30 years.
Wow.
And so that's always been a part of our lives, that Catholic community. And my dad worked there. The Mint, he closed the Mint. He's got keys in his hand. He's got a picture of them doing that.
That's fantastic. That's good. So how do you like when you moved out here? I mean, you were 8 years old?
It was hot. From Chicago, we came out, and we came out of the car at a gas station. My mom's like, "Stay in." We all get out. We couldn't breathe. It was August.
Yeah, it's probably one of the hottest months. But the temperature goes up to 110,
right.
to 115.
It was crazy.
And it fluctuates around there. July, August, September. Those are hot months. This is beautiful weather now.
Oh, it's been amazing.
It's like 85 degrees today outside, 90.
Yeah.
It's really good, but it's dry. People say, go to Vegas. How can you guys take that heat, 110, 115? But you know what? We're not no fools. We know how to stay in the air-conditioned places,
Right.
and drink a lot of water. But a lot of individuals don't want to make that move because they fear the heat.
Right. But I wouldn't want to live in the Midwest either. I don't want that. I don't want the wet feeling all the time.
But
like
Chicago is freezing cold.
Yes, it is.
When it gets cold out there, you got by the lake up there. When you go downtown the city of Chicago and you go down by the lake out there, while the wind side is hidden.
Right, and it's just freezing.
Man, I tell you, one day I went out there, I came out of the hotel, I came back first day, I took right on my back. I said, whoa. How about welcome to Chicago?
Right. We used to walk backwards in the snow. We used to, and I have 3 sisters right now. Well, and one is in California, Laguna, lovely weather. One is in Minnesota. Tell me why. The other one's in North Dakota, where they have, minus 22 degrees. I mean, it's just nuts. And it's funny. I say to them, there's the West Coast, guys.
Yeah. Minnesota, oh, wow, that's a cold place.
It's cold.
I went there one time to referee a fight.
Oh.
Yeah. I had my friend Mark Nelson out there, and his father, and was a referee and a judge. But I tell you, Minnesota, one of the coldest places there in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Really cold cities.
Yeah, they love the seasons. They trade the winter for the spring and the summer, and I'm like, well, we have 2 seasons. We have hot and we have less hot. So that's kind of where we are.
So tell me about your life coach. I mean, that's an area that's very touchy in certain ways because, I mean, a lot of individuals, especially now with the COVID and whatnot, the pandemic, a lot of individuals, especially young folks, they suffer from anxiety.
Very much.
They're not used to being locked in and putting on that mask. Mm-hmm. They be mandated. That they have certain states that mandated that you wear the mask.
Right.
At times, if you feel like I can't breathe in it, I'm one myself that I hate those masks,
right.
But I have to wear them. But I mean, it got to be kind of tough, the anxiety with these kids, and that's when they go into all these. They're not accustomed to being locked in the house. They used to be running out in the street playing with their friends and all that.
Right.
They can't do that anymore.
Right. A lot of our kids during the pandemic, it was virtual, so the teacher was on the computer and we were doing this kind of thing. And a lot of our kids, unfortunately, sometimes had to watch siblings. And sometimes there's, 4 kids in the house and they're younger and the parents are working and, what do you do? So that kind of took away a lot of education for a little while there. And then also, like you said, Joe, it's that anxiety that kids have gotten anxiety. I have kids who have never been in high school.
Right.
So, 2 years ago, they were in 7th, 8th grade. Now they're in high school and it's kind of, what am I doing here?
It's a big change. It's a big change, and you got to adjust to it. It's not easy. I mean, you're changing from junior high school into high school. It's a big change.
And you missed that freshman year. That's 3,000 kids. All of a sudden, you walk in your freshman, sophomore year, and you're like, oh my goodness,
No,
kids in my office every day.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of these young folks, they have the fear also where they're going from one grade to another.
Yeah.
They're being bullied in school a lot.
Yeah.
You have a lot of that going on in your school?
I don't know about a lot, but I will tell you that we've got great administration who takes care of whatever that is as soon as possible. So if the student is going to report it, we're going to take care of it.
Yeah, speakers that go to the schools there, talk to these children, to these kids about, the students about bullying, being bullied and whatnot.
Yeah.
How that can affect them, mentally.
Right.
I mean, psychologically, they're not feeling right. Or something's not right with them. They're afraid to go to school, get up in the morning.
Yeah.
They don't want to go to school.
Right.
A lot of kids will play hooky.
Uh-huh.
You hardly hear that word too much, hooky.
Right. I say it.
But there are a lot of kids out there they skip school classes because they're afraid because the individuals, a bully, is going to be there. I'm going to be afraid.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of our kids, too, have come to, when they start skipping school and they're gone for maybe a week or 2, then they just get into the pattern of, well, I can't do it anyway, so why should I go? And so that it just propagates this unfortunate system where then they start having educational gaps. And when that happens, that furthers the problem of, well, I can't go to school, I can't do this, I can't do that, a lot of I can'ts. Right. So if we can get our kids to school on a daily basis, if they can just come and show up and be there and do their work, they will go so much further. Now, again, not necessarily college, but they will go, there's apprenticeships, which are the best things in the world, if you ask me. You go to a job, you learn how to do it, they pay you, and you just keep moving forward.
Right.
And so things like CSN could also be a secondary, a step to maybe being a manager or a foreman, things like that. Right. So there's all kinds of different things at CSN, and I really love that program. I love CSN, but talking about that. So the kids need a place to go work-wise, and I can't say it enough. I think that there's, in fact, right now, I did some research. There's Chipotle and Taco Bell and McDonald's and one more, but Cane's maybe. They provide educational assistance. Oh, so if the kids want to work there and they want to go to college, that's not a bad gig.
Yeah.
I think Chipotle offers $5,300 a year toward that, or they'll pay for a degree in a certain area that they provide. But but they'll pay for your college degree.
You see, that should be put out there more. So people, a lot of people don't know about this. That's why I'm glad we got you on the show. You're able to explain to our viewers out there the different packages, different deals that are out there given to these young men, young men and young ladies to do. I mean, they can go out there and apply for a job, after school part-time job.
Yeah.
But they're also going to get a schooling.
Yeah, and a lot of our parents don't have benefits.
Right.
I mean, a lot of our parents are in situations where they don't have health insurance and things like that. Chipotle, and not to promote one or the other, but they offer full-time health benefits. They offer mental health benefits. I mean, it's just, and being a part-time employee.
Sure.
Starbucks, amazing what they have to offer.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. That, but it should be put out there more so that people can listen to know about what's available for them. Because a lot of people don't know that, especially new ones that move into the state. They don't know where to go.
No.
Now, let's say somebody moved into the state and they move. Where can they reach out for advice of what steps to take first to get them started here in Nevada?
We have a lot of resources in Nevada, a lot of public resources that I don't have websites for in my head. But I know, especially if they go to a school, they're going to find some help. If they just ask, we have social workers at our school. We have student success advocates. We have another group of people who help kids with food and shelter. Well, food and basic necessities. And our social workers can help provide links to mental health. We see a lot of kids, and our social workers will get them to mental health facilities and outside sources for counseling, perhaps, outside of that, and the kinds of things that are necessary. So if a parent comes to a school, a lot of adults have kids, so they come to their school and they ask for help, we will have it for them. We can get them help, we can connect them to help. So I think every school has that.
Okay, so now they have individuals in the school there. You said there's I know we have a large population of Hispanics and Asians. There's individuals at the school that can communicate with them to give them the proper direction where to go. Yeah, that's so important. That's so good to know that our viewers know that there's always help out there to get you on the right track, to get you, if you move into Nevada for the first time, you know who you're going to call first. I believe going to your churches, go to your local church, you go there, and they'll also help you there, get you on the right track.
There's a number, you can dial 211, and it's a huge list of resources for our community.
Just dial 211.
And you can go to 211 in Google. If you put in your search engine, 211 will connect you to a lot of services that we have here in town, and it will help.
Yeah. So now, what do you see in the future, in the horizon for yourself? You say you're going to retire next May of next year.
This year.
Well, this year.
This May. Very happy retirement. Yes.
We're in September now. We're in October.
Yes.
Again, so
a few months to go.
You're talking about this term of class. I mean, so you're talking about another couple of 5-6 months and you retire.
And let me tell you, so in our school we work with caseloads. So I have seniors this year, and so seniors need a lot of attention. You know, whether letters of recommendation to school, whether it be what we're going to do after high school, whether it be just credits. You know, kids need to be responsible for what they need to do. Right. So that's my job. I help them be responsible. I help them get the information they need. So with that being said, it is my last year, but it's very full, very important year for those kids. Sure.
It's very important. I mean, they're going to miss you there. The Clark County School District going to miss you because you're a professional. You've been through it all, from a school teacher to a counselor that you are now. How many years have you been counseling?
Well, I worked in middle school counseling. I worked in high school counseling. I was a teacher in middle school and high school. Counseling has brought me about 20 years.
20 years.
And I worked 15 of those at Clark High School.
Okay, that's great. So, I mean, somebody like you with your skills, I mean, they're going to have a big void there because, I mean, they're looking now, from what I understand, even back east, I know in Newark, New Jersey, they're offering teachers to come back out of retirement. They'll give them a bonus plus like $94,000 a year. And then those that are starting brand new, like $54,000 a year, which is not a bad
not a bad gig if I could deal with the weather, right?
Yeah. Now, how's the school district, how's it pay here? For schooling.
It's not like it is in Jersey. The base price actually just went up $5,000 for new teachers. Yeah. So that was really great for the district, and everyone else kind of got a little step. So it was a boost. So that was really nice. Yeah. And if our district could offer something like that, bonuses and such, I mean, I think we'd get more people. We do have a teacher shortage, and a large teacher shortage, and we have counselor shortage. I mean, there's a lot of schools right now that still need someone to be in there with the kids.
I don't want to knock anybody, but when I see that the supervisor of the school district, and the number one person in charge, the kind of money they make, I say, wow.
Top heavy for sure.
That's big, couple of $100,000 a year, you know. I say, wow, some of that money should be maybe cut down a little bit and give some more to the teachers.
Yes,
that's
a contention
the teachers really
for sure.
need. I mean, sometimes you hate to knock anybody. I'm not trying to knock. I'm just trying to maybe make some adjustment. I mean, I'm happy we're trying to make adjustments now to get our lives. I mean, kind of hard now. But the budget, our budget has increased much more than it was in the last couple of years. It got worse than I've ever seen it. I mean, if you live on a fixed income, it's hard to make it these days.
Very hard. And that's affecting a lot of our kids in schools too, because their parents have less, they have less, and sometimes they don't want to ask for help. Right. They don't want to say, I need something to eat for the weekend.
Right.
And so, and even with that being said, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, they have food baskets for the kids who need them, and they just supply so much if we just give them a chance to ask us and make them feel comfortable enough to say, hey, I need this.
And we should have maybe more of a program where we can have individuals come in and donate food and make it on a weekly basis, have like a basket or a bag, shopping bag of food that each student can take home.
Right. There's Project 150 that does that. There's 3 Square that does that. So there are people here in town who help with that kind of thing, and so that's great. Any donations, of course, are always welcome, even to the schools, Clark High School. We welcome everything and anything that would be good for the kids.
I've heard that some of these world champions here in boxing, like Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson, some other guys, they've gotten involved in the community and given this kind of a food program, got involved, giving away. Helping out the community.
Yeah, it's great.
Which is a good thing to have.
It's great when people can help out. We just need it. We need mentors. We need people who are willing to help with our kids, get them to the next space.
Now, if somebody wants to reach you directly, they can reach you. What number?
The number is 702-721-7834.
Okay, they can reach you there and get information about anything with counseling, what we've been talking about on the air today.
Yes.
So we can get them on the right track. They can call you again, reach out for you for additional information.
Right.
Okay, well, you have a list of individuals. You say they could call 211?
211 is the city number for help. And so that they lead you to, like I said, housing and food and temporary shelter and Medicaid, things like that, disability and resources. So yes, that's very important, and we do have that 211. So yeah.
Vamos a ir en Spanish para los que están escuchando en español. Karen Rich, Kristin Rich, nos está explicando que hay un número que pueden llamar a 211 en su teléfono para información sobre en qué le pueden ayudar aquí en Las Vegas para comida, para cosas, necesidades de la vida que necesitan ustedes aquí, llegando aquí a Las Vegas. Llamen al 211 y ahí van a conseguir más información para ayudarlos a sean mejor acomodados aquí en Las Vegas.
And they can also lead people to community centers and other places that will help them speak English.
Y ahí también ellos te pueden dar información que pueden ir a coger el estudio para poder hablar el inglés.
I also tell my kids they're going to get the job first. If you're bilingual, whatever your language is, you're going to get the job before I will, because I don't speak another language.
Dice ella que las personas que hablan 2 idiomas o 3 idiomas tienen mejor seguridad de tener un trabajo más seguro, porque quieren coger gente que sepan 2 idiomas y habla español e inglés, tienen mejor chance de mejorar su carrera aquí en Las Vegas. So anyway, I really appreciate having you on the show today, because it is information that's needed so much in the community. There's a lot of individuals out there that don't know where to go, where what direction, who to call, and they're in trouble. You don't want anybody to cause any hardships, difficult times. The number is 211 is a number for information.
Yes.
But now if you're going through some anxiety, some difficult time, who do you call there?
It's 211, because they can lead you to mental health resources as well.
Okay.
So they're very broad at what they can do.
Well, guys, you heard it there from Kristin Rich, who's a dear guest of ours today, and she gives all the information, a lot of information that's needed. But don't forget, you can reach her. You see her number at the bottom of the screen. Call her up and check her. She'll guide you in the right direction. Take care. We'll catch you guys next week. Keep your guards up at all times. God bless. Bye-bye. Thank you.